From the banks of Seva Kunj at Laduna Palace, Sitamau marks the prelude to something larger. 1,000 hot air balloons rise into the sky. Fireworks light the evening, and students bring the space alive through creativity and participation. This is the opening chapter of the Sitamau Literature Festival 2.0, returning after its first edition last year. To understand the vision behind this revival and what it means for Sitamau and the Malwa region, I spoke with the collector of Mandsaur district, Mrs. Aditi Garg. We are here at Seva Kunj Laduna Palace today, where the prelude of Sitamau Literature Festival returning to its edition of this year. Here with me is District Collector of Mandsaur, Mrs. Aditi Garg, whose vision has greatly shaped the historical place and its legacies open now with public. Ma'am, last year it was the idea finding its footing. Today is the moment unfolding in front of us. How does it feel, your imagination becoming now tangible?
Thank you, first of all, and thank you for your very kind words. Yes, we have tried to transform not just the festival but also the area. As you know, Sitamau is known as Choti Kashi. We hope to make this Sitamau Literature Festival a knowledge kumbh. What we try to do is bring people of different backgrounds, different dispositions, different talents, and bring them together on the same stage so that art, culture, history, poetry, prose, and of course music and the other entertaining arts are brought to the normal people, to the regular citizens of this country. We believe that art and culture are not the preserve of the few, but they should reach the masses. And Sitamau Literature Festival is basically an attempt to ensure that everybody has the right access, understands or is exposed to the right ideas that are being discussed on the national and international stage, and has the right perspective about our history and our past, so that we can make informed decisions about our future.
Ma'am, like institutions like Natnagar Shodh Sansthan have existed for decades, like very quietly. Yet we as society knew barely anything about this place. So how does it, feel to make people finally recognize their own region and embracing it very, very gracefully and in enjoyment?
I think one of the tasks that district administration has is to pay attention to things that are important to people. And as part of that initiative, I think the Natnagar Shodh Sansthan, which houses 10,000 original manuscripts, that has history written over its walls, that is home to letters and original drafts of historians, of famous people in history. I think it is very important to preserve that heritage that we have. And more importantly, I think it is very important to bring the history to modern times. Yes, an institution has existed in the past, but how do you make sure that a historical institution is also modernized and made relevant to the people of the current? That, I think, is basically the perspective that we work with. However, on a larger landscape, I feel that the area that we live in, the culture, the tourism, the talent potential that we have also needs a platform to be showcased. So this is both. This is a give and take from both sides. This is imbibing, learning, and inculcating the history, the present thought process, the culture, the institutions, the ideas that are being discussed on a global platform, but at the same time showcasing what we have to the world also. So I think Sitamau Literature Festival is more of a two-faced mirror, which not only shows us the world, but also lets the world see us.
There's also one thing I want to put very directly. Collectors have gone and come in Mandsaur, but none decided to put this level in culture. What was it in you that you can't just look away with this magnificent place?
I think a lot of people who have been in the position that I have been in have had a series of priorities, and it is a matter of prioritizing things given the times. I think a lot of decision making goes with what is pressing at that time. Of course, my understanding of our history and our culture has been that it should be made relevant to the present, and that's the small initiative that we are making. I wouldn't make tall claims of things that we are doing. We are only trying to initiate people and ensure that they have the exposure that is available at other places. Sitamau needs to be recognized in the world, not only because we have had a significant place in the past, but also because we have the talent to make a place for ourselves in the future.
Okay. Ma'am, initiatives like this make people of this region have immense pride, or in Hindi, what we call Aditi Garg. How do you personally respond to that?
I take all appreciation and feedback very positively, and it's very warm that people think of us like that. As you can see around me are the normal regular folk of this area. We do not aim to attract eyeballs in terms of creating some kind of a message. Our purpose is only to ensure that people have an experience and exposure to what literature, culture, art, history, poetry, prose have. So let everybody experience that. And I don't think we make too much, or rather, I don't think we are required to make too much effort, because people of Malwa are already exposed to these things. They have been, thought leaders in the past, and they can very well gain their rightful place in the future also.
We are talking Malwa. Our region has always been, the land of intellectual depth, not just political history. How important was it for you to reclaim this forgotten cultural identity and giving it the public exposure?
I think Malwa is a cultural, Malwa has been at the cultural headwind for a very long time. I don't think we require, or even district administration requires, to make that extra effort. So, people understand the Malwa culture, the Malwa food, the Malwa poetry, the Malwa way of life quite well, and I don't think we are required to make any extra effort in ensuring that that is all highlighted. That gets highlighted in our day-to-day lives. I think what we are trying to do is shape the future thinkers of this area to understand and to imbibe that there are alternate ways of thinking. There are alternate ideas to maybe think along a different angle, to specifically reach out to newer ideas. So the whole objective of this exercise is to engineer creativity, to engineer talent, to engineer social harmony, and at the same time, I think to engineer a sort of a voice of the people. So Sitamau Literature Festival, I look at it from that point of view.
So, ma'am, seeing all the people and students getting so excited about literature and history, do you feel this is exactly the kind of impact you imagined when you began this?
Yeah, I think this place really has in to use your Gen Z word, this has the riz. So there is a riz factor to Sitamau Literature Festival, definitely. I think this place creates the kind of buzz that is required. I hope that through you, I'm able to reach out to like-minded people to come and join us for the Sitamau Literature Festival. Ultimately, the way I look at it is that with such events and with such activities, we get more rigor, we get more vitality and vigor. So this is ultimately rewarding even for us. But I do hope that yes, people who come and attend these festivals and events take away at least a thought that they can sleep over and maybe come up with ideas that can improve our society and the nation for tomorrow.
Okay. So, ma'am, finally, this festival, do you think it will be an annual festival, or do you want it to make, elevated and cultural recognition of the region?
So I don't think we should go ahead of ourselves in assuming any larger role that this may have. Of course, it is a very organic event. It can develop whichever way it wants to, and I fully trust the coming generation, people like you, to take this forward. And I'm very happy that to this small effort and small initiative of the district administration and of the local administration, people like you come forward in Thors and join us. So I'm quite hopeful that this event goes on even in the future, even if not in this shape and form. It can evolve whichever way it wants to. we are trying to pursue it in a certain way. Maybe the future generations look upon it differently and want to do something else of it. But I do hope that it continues. There's a small share that I remember. I mean, I don't want to prolong the agony already, but it is said that जो आग किसी ने लगाई है वो कैसे जलती है ये समय ही बताता है. तो ये आग तो नहीं, ये एक छोटी सी लॉ है. देखते हैं इसको आगे की जनरेशन्स कैसे लेती हैं. मेरी उम्मीद यही है. आई होप एंड विश दैट पीपल कैरी दिस फॉरवर्ड एज अ common legacy instead of just thinking of it as an administrative endeavor.
Okay. Hearing from you, ma'am, it makes sure that it took way too much dedication and thought bringing this vision to life. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
The Sitamau Literature Festival returns from the 29th to the 31st of January. What began here today as a prelude now moves toward a larger conversation, one where history, literature, and public life meet once again in Sitamau.